Hello everybody and welcome back. In this video I want to talk about Novo Nordisk because a lot of you have asked my opinion on the company and if I was going to buy the stock, because the stock continues to drop and drop and drop and the valuation is getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So yeah, maybe I will be a buyer. At what price? What are the things to monitor when it comes to Novo Nordisk? It's a pretty interesting company. And I have a lot of friends that are buying this dip. In the past, Novo Nordisk was a darling and the stock was only going up to 1000 here. And from 1000, it went down to 300. So in 1 year and a half, the whole thesis evaporated. All the bulls evaporated. Now people are only bearish, only pessimistic. So in this video you will get my opinion if I'm bullish or bearish or neutral about the stock. And yeah, I have a couple of things to share with you on Twitter on the financial side, and we'll talk about the valuation together. Okay, in case this is your first video from this channel, welcome. My name is Christophe Noor. I'm French. I've been investing in the stock market for almost a decade now, and I have achieved a performance of 25% per year. And sometimes I have catched falling knives like these ones. Quality companies that suddenly broke, and when the investment thesis broke, you have to make a hard decision whether you want to jump in this train or not. So, in case you don't know what Novo Nordisk is, they are in the diabetes segment, diabetes industry. You don't have a lot of players here. You have Novo Nordisk, Eli Lilly, and that's pretty much it. I'm aware you have some small players in this industry, but frankly, you have two big dogs in the industry. So, with roughly 1/3 of the global branded diabetes treatment market, Novo Nordisk is the leading provider of diabetes care products in the world. Based in Denmark, the company manufactures and markets a variety of human and modern insulin injectable diabetes treatments such as GLP-1 therapy, oral diabetic agents, and obesity treatments. What is really funny is sometimes the stock moves a lot because of a diabetes piece of news, and sometimes the stock moves a lot because of this. And a few days ago, this is what happened. Novo Nordisk Alzheimer phase 3 trial for semaglutide did not slow disease progression. They are doing diabetes treatment drugs, but also some other developments, including one with Alzheimer. And because the trial was not successful, they had to issue this press release, and the stock, let me show you, Novo Nordisk fell 10% in one day because of this. Sometimes stock prices act stupidly, and they teach us at business school that markets are efficient. Well, it was a good moment to buy if you wanted to enter the position. Alzheimer is not something that is really important for Novo Nordisk. The only thing that is important is the competition with Eli Lilly right now. So are you having a better product than Eli Lilly or not? Do you grow a lot or not? By the way, if you want to become a better investor and improve your performance, I have a coaching program. It gives you the exact method I've used to generate 25% per year for almost a decade. More on that at the end of the video. And a lot of things have happened for Novo Nordisk because they have a new management team. Now the stock is down. We are in the largest drawdown ever. I can update this chart by showing you this. This is the drawdown for the company. The stock is in a 69% drawdown. So 65, 70% drawdown. Largest drawdown ever. And they just fired the CEO. If you look at a couple of months ago, the CEO was fired. And 3 times in the press release, the board accused the CEO of bad things, and they said this was the cause for the stock price drop. In other terms, the board of directors, big shareholders, are not happy with the stock price drop. Obviously, they blamed it on the CEO, and they mentioned 3 times the declining stock price in a press release. For a European company to talk 3 times about your stock price drop in a press release is something that you don't see often. It's something quite big. So my strong guess is the board of directors is fed up right now, extremely angry, and they want a big change right now. So you have a new CEO, and it seems like the CEO stopped the buybacks and focuses on acquisitions of other healthcare companies to have the best product ever, the best drug ever. Because I told you the most important thing for Novo Nordisk is the competition with Eli Lilly. How do you compete with your closest friend? Okay, so you want to increase your market share, so you need the best drug, and they think they will have the best drug by acquiring small laboratory stuff. I mean, small, that's a couple of billions of dollars, right? But you understand me. Okay, so I see some people on Twitter arguing that it's time to restart the buybacks. If you look at the history of the company, they have been doing buybacks, as you can see here. Boom. Do you see this? I can show you something else. I can show you the financials on Fiscal AI, Stock Unlock. Any website would do the work. By the way, I'm recording this video on Thanksgiving Day. You have a lot of discounts for all the websites I'm using on my videos. I'm using Fiscal AI here and Novo and Stock Unlock here on a daily basis, and you have like a Black Friday sales. So if you want to subscribe to their services, now is a good time. I mean, now is a very, very good time, I would say, because that's the biggest deal you will have for both these websites, Fiscal AI and Stock Unlock. I've never seen this kind of deals before, this kind of discounts. So it will be pretty interesting for you if you want to start and subscribe. Okay, so this is the change in total shares outstanding for Novo Nordisk. You can see, total. Okay, you can see that in the past, for the past 10 years, the company has been doing buybacks, a 2% buyback program every year. And slowly but surely, the buybacks have stopped. And if you look on a quarterly basis, do I have the data? Now, this trend is increasing. If this trend, if this line is low, that means more buybacks. And before it was like minus 1%. So they are repurchasing 1% of their shares every year. Now we are near zero. The company has completely stopped doing buybacks. And I can show you what I mean. On Guru Focus here, you see green candles here. Green candles mean buybacks of 1 or 2% per year. And now they completely stopped the buybacks. In this scenario, what do you do? If you are a smart CEO, the answer is it depends. Because now you have 2 scenarios and you have a great comparison with Adobe. Because now the stock has dropped, the valuation has dropped, everybody is bearish. Is it smart to start buybacks again? If you think the investment thesis is intact and your business is cheap, yes, it's smart to do buybacks. You allocate all your free cash flow to do buybacks. Adobe is doing this because Adobe is saying publicly, guys, all the threats are overblown. We are an underappreciated license and brand. We are still safe. Adobe is still fine. So let's use 100% of our free cash flow to do buybacks because I think we are cheap and I am the CEO, so I decide. Okay? Now you have the other example, Novo Nordisk. They don't say the business is fine. They fired the CEO. They are losing ground when it comes to competition, maybe within this ecosystem with Eli Lilly. And apparently the management doesn't think we are cheap because they are doing some massive acquisitions to acquire other healthcare companies. And yeah, they want to pivot. They want to improve the quality of the company. So I don't think this is the same scenario at all. So to answer the question, is it smart to do buybacks? They don't think so. Novo Nordisk doesn't think they are safe. Literally, Novo Nordisk thinks they are in danger. So totally different thing when it comes to Adobe. So for all the people arguing it's time to do the buybacks, I doubt it. I mean, I'm not a healthcare expert at all. But these guys are. So if they think they are in danger, maybe you can trust them. Maybe you can trust them when they think they are in panic mode. And on a quarterly basis, balance sheet, can I check the goodwill? Goodwill, no. So I will check the price paid for acquisitions. Cash acquisitions. Is it this one? Sales purchase of intangible assets. Maybe that's this one. Cash acquisition here. Maybe they did a massive acquisition in the fourth quarter of 2024. Let me check. Yeah, do they have debt to finance these acquisitions? I think they issued more debt now, right? Yes, if you look on a quarterly basis, they have debt since Q4 2024. So yeah, they want to be aggressive now. They don't want to be passive and do buybacks. They want to do aggressive with good acquisitions. So do they mention their acquisition? In December, look at this. In 2024, December, Novo Nordisk announced that the acquisition of Catalent by Novo Holdings and the related acquisition by Novo Nordisk of 3 manufacturing sites from Novo Nordisk was completed. Okay, so if you are doing a massive acquisition, you will increase your revenue. So maybe they will improve the guidance a little bit. Okay, fair enough. What has been the revenue growth rate in the past? Flat, then 20% per year, then 15% per year. Fair enough. Okay. And the growth rate has been declining. My strongest is revenue will increase again when they will implement the acquisition, when they will fully acquire the company. You will have some synergies, maybe a little bit of synergies, and you will have more revenue growth. But still, even despite all these problems, the revenue is growing 15% per year. Despite everything, what you want to say about the business model, is the business model broken? It seems like no, not at all. The revenue continues to increase. This is your revenue. Look at the revenue chart for the past 20 years. The revenue is still fine. The revenue, I mean, this is not a declining business, right? You have deceleration, but this is not a declining and dying business. Next question for you, if you want to do the due diligence. Will the revenue decline in future years? Are we in the same situation that some people see for Evolution AB? I know Evolution AB quite well. Maybe I have the most advanced videos on Evolution AB. All YouTube combined. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong on this. But I think my videos are pretty in-depth. And we have the exact same situation for Evolution AB. Meaning, the stock was growing immensely, the revenue was growing immensely, earnings were growing immensely. And then everything decelerates and you have to be ready. You have to take a decision before it goes back down. And I sold the position when it was turning flat. And now the revenue is going down for Evolution. The net income is going down. The free cash flow is going down. So will we have the same situation for Novo Nordisk? The only way you can answer this question is by knowing if this is inside your circle of competence. If you don't know how to answer this question, it means Novo Nordisk is not inside your circle of competence because you don't know what are the key growth drivers for revenue. For Evolution AB, I made a video about this. I mean, you can check my YouTube channel. It's public. I made a video in, maybe that's the most viewed videos on video on my channel right now. Why I sold. I said more risks, more regulation. I don't expect Evolution AB to grow massively again because they have too many risks at the same time. Can you spot 3 to 5 key risks to Novo Nordisk? If you cannot, don't buy Novo Nordisk. You have other fish in the pond that are easier. Now, next question. Can I list, me personally, 3 to 5 key risks? No. So, Novo Nordisk is not inside my circle of competence. So, I'm not buying the stock. And I want to answer this question of will you buy or not? 2 ways. One is this one. How can Novo Nordisk be killed? How can they die? I have no clue. How can you judge whether the treatment, the drug for diabetes is better than Novo Nordisk? Well, you can spot the weight loss in percentage terms, okay. What will be this industry like in a couple of years? I assume you will have more people with diabetes, but apart from this, I have no special expertise in this industry. I cannot name 5 reasons why the revenue would skyrocket in the future. The only thing I can spot is the trend. Revenue is growing nicely. This is your revenue over time. The revenue has been trending up double digits for many years now. So maybe this trend will continue. Apart from this, I have no clear edge. And if they have a problem, I don't know. By the way, guys, a quick test for you if you want to know if something is within your circle of competence or not is if the stock drops by 50%, do you know why? Can you name 10, 15 reasons maybe why the stock is going down? If you cannot list 10 reasons, it's not inside your circle of competence. And I remember a couple of quarters ago, a couple of months ago, inside my coaching program, we talked about Evolution AB. And we talked about this exact problem. What can go wrong? What is going wrong? And what will go wrong in the future for Evolution AB? And yeah, it turns out it was a pretty good call to see that the problems will just accumulate for Evolution AB. And so far, we are not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. We will see. We will see in 6 months if it continues or not, if the stock rebounds. Can you name 5, 10, 15 reasons why Novo Nordisk is down? If you want to be a proper shareholder, you must know this. And if you don't know how to tackle this exercise, you have the first link in my description to join my coaching program. And I will help you get more framework in your analysis so you don't fall into stupid traps. So you can only pick winning companies and you will know exactly when to buy a stock, but also when to sell a stock. Because, I mean, for Evolution AB or Novo Nordisk, maybe the smart thing to do is to sell. Maybe. I have no clue. Okay, so now let's talk about valuation. Because, yes, the growth is decelerating, but now the stock is extremely cheap. 1.5 years ago, this was viewed as a premium company with a PE ratio of 50. So only this shows the company was expensive. And you would have a re-rating one day or another. So the PE ratio went from 50 to 25. Reasonable, right? And since then, it has been cut in half again. As you can see from this chart, before COVID or even in 2020, 2021, the normal PE ratio for Novo Nordisk was 24, 25. The PE ratio doubled. The stock was expensive. So when people are saying, yeah, we are enjoying a 70% drawdown, yeah, but you start from a very high point. So it doesn't matter much, right? You have to start your adjusted drawdown from the normal valuation here. Which means, what is the normal drawdown for this company? From January 2025. Yeah, okay. Novo Nordisk stock. What is the 50% drawdown. So the real drawdown is 50%. The stock is now extremely cheap and they are doing acquisitions. Will the acquisitions bring more operating income? that's a good question you need to answer if you want to buy Novo Nordisk now. Okay, now the second point I want to talk about before doing a DCF and a potential entry point for you is another reason why I would not buy Novo Nordisk. I released a video a couple of days ago, what would be my ideal portfolio? And basically you want efficiency beasts, which means you want the revenue to grow at an inferior rate to the EBIT, to the operating income. You want the operating income to grow at an inferior rate compared to the net income, to grow at an inferior rate to the earnings per share, which means more margins, more improvements of the business model, and more buybacks. Is Novo Nordisk in this situation? So a quick way to do it is to look at this. Yes, over the past, where can I check? The past 10 years, let's say 10 years. A lot of things have happened in 20 years. 10 years should be this, right? Over the past 10 years, the revenue has grown at 10% per year for Novo Nordisk. The operating income has grown at 8% per year. So the first relationship here is not right, not correct. So it's out. Let me continue. The net income is growing at 9% per year, and earnings per share have been growing at 11% per year. Well, maybe in the past, a couple of quarters ago, this formula was right. So a couple of months ago, if Novo Nordisk was inside my circle of competence, maybe I would have bought the dip because it fits my criteria. Look at this. Revenue is growing 12% per year. Operating income is growing 14% per year. Net income is growing 14% per year. And diluted EPS is 16% per year. A couple of months ago, this formula would have been right. But now, as the revenue is dropping a little bit, net income dropping a little bit, earnings per share dropping a little bit, you don't have this anymore. Yeah, that's a pity, but that's how quality business models break. Okay, so yeah, more cost along the way. The margins are trending down, I suppose. Let me check the margins. Gross margins are pretty stable, declining a tiny bit, but no worries because of the acquisition. Operating margins are trending up and now trending down. Maybe the only reason why margins are going down is because of the acquisition. Well, if they are struggling and aggressive, they will do more acquisitions, which means margins will go down in the future. Maybe. Okay, so margins have not been growing for 7-8 years now? Okay, fair enough. And the free cash flow margin, well, don't assume any free cash flow for this business. They will just re-inject everything they can into the business to survive. And if you look at the DCF, how can you forecast the DCF? Okay. Over the past 20 years, the free cash flow has grown at 13% per year. Let me remove this. It was to show you it's not a good candidate. Over the past 10 years, the free cash flow has grown at 6% per year. If you adjust for the latest quarters, you have a free cash flow growth of 9% per year. So maybe you can assume 9-10% growth rate in the future. Okay, let's put 9. What do you think is the normal adjusted price to free cash flow for this business? We said it was 25, right? If it goes back to normal, it's 25. What would be the buyback policy for the next 5 years? If you assume management is entering panic mode, they will do more acquisitions. They will either not do any buybacks or dilute shareholders with acquisitions. You know what? Let me put 0 and let me be kind to the stock. And I assume no dividend growth rate, which means if you think for the next 5 years, the free cash flow will grow at 9% per year, 0 buybacks, and you assume a price to free cash flow of 25, if this is your assumption, then the stock is undervalued by 18%. The fair value is $56. And if you buy right now, you can expect a CAGR of 13-14%, which is pretty decent. So I understand why people knowledgeable to the industry are buying Novo Nordisk now. I have a lot of friends that are buying Novo Nordisk now because they have some edge in this industry. They know what moves this industry. They know how to analyze the drugs. And yeah, now if you think the growth will go down, and if you expect a 5% growth rate, then the stock is fairly valued. And if you buy right now, you can expect a CAGR of 10% per year. But if the stock is growing at 5% per year, the stock will not deserve a price to cash flow of 25. It will deserve 15. And if you buy right now with these assumptions, you will be flat. Now, if you think the company will go back to growth, and instead of growing 9% per year, their free cash flow, what have we done in the past? We said the company had grown free cash flow at 13% per year back in the days. So if you think free cash flow for the next 5 years will grow at 13% per year, the stock will be a wonderful turnaround play. The CEO will make wonders with strong acquisitions, and eventually the free cash flow will grow again. If you think they deserve a price of cash flow of 25, then the stock is 40% undervalued. And if you buy right now, you can expect a CAGR of 17%. This is it. This is everything you need to know about Novo Nordisk, if this is inside your circle of competence. But to answer some of your questions, I am not buying Novo Nordisk because it's out of my circle of competence and it broke the efficiency beast framework. So I want more simple investments in my portfolio. Now the stock is down, now the stock is cheap, now everybody is pessimistic, but I don't know what will be the turnaround play here. So it's not inside my circle of competence and I'm not a buyer, but I hope this video helped you think more clearly about Novo Nordisk. And if you have a story to share, feel free to share in the comment section below. If you like this content and you want to go deeper, I have a coaching program. In this program, you will learn the strategy I use to outperform the market. You will learn how to find winning opportunities. You will learn how to properly value stocks, when to buy, when to sell, so that you can build a strong portfolio with great companies. Additionally, inside the program, you will have access to an exclusive community of like-minded investors, and you will also have access to my personalized guidance to reach your investing goals. Click the first link in the description to get more information. You will get a short video that explains how everything works, completely for free. No need for your email address, just click the first link in the description and I'll see you on the other side.